Get ready for the ultimate showdown between Kobe Bryant and LeBron James. In one corner we have the Black Mamba, and in the other, the King himself. But there's a twist in this story, and a superfan is about to get destroyed. Buckle up and get prepared for an intense and passionate discussion that will settle this debate once and for all. Kobe Bryant has always been divisive and contentious when it comes to NBA players, particularly NBA legends. Throughout my lifetime, he is regarded as one of the best two players by certain fans, but not even among the top 10. I recently shared my top 10 players after seeing a single viral film of Shaquille O'Neal disputing a fan over whether Kobe was the top 10 player. LeBron, James, Jordan, Jabal, Chamberlain, Russell, Magic, Bird, Duncan and Elijah. You may wonder why I chose LeBron over Kobe, except for shooting free throws. I don't believe LeBron outperformed Kobe in any other skill. That concludes the top 10 without Kobe, ending at that particular clip. Kobe's argument for being a top 10 player isn't that difficult to build. First of all, his rivals were unmatched. He defeated 25-50 win teams throughout his career, which is more than Michael Jordan, LeBron James or even Tim Duncan. In 3 years in 2010, Kobe defeated 8 clubs with 50 wins. Kobe Bryant defeated 51 more teams than Magic Johnson did during his career. Only 3 teams have ever defeated and faced a 51 team in every round of the playoffs in NBA history. The 1994 Rockets, the 2001 Lakers and the 2010 Lakers were those teams. Looking at the West in the late 2000s, the required number of victories to qualify for the playoffs was 50 in 2008, 48 in 2009 and 50 once again in 2010. Simply speaking, Kobe's West was the most difficult conference in history. Speaking of difficulty, I would contend that Kobe's defensive period was the finest ever. The early 2000s were the dead ball era when huge big men crowded the paint. Consider the physicality of the time, though athletically it was more like the 2010s and the 1990s in many aspects. 7 of the 10 NBA seasons with the slowest pace occurred during Kobe's heyday. Despite this, he had the 7th slowest season in NBA history in 2006, averaging 35.4 points per game. He averaged 30 points per game in 2003, which was the 4th slowest season. My choice when discussing Kobe's peak is Shaquille O'Neal. His 3-year span from 2008 to 2010 demonstrated that he was an all-time great player and one of the best 10 NBA players in history. He averaged 29.8 points, 5.7 rebounds and 5.5 assists per game while playing with his star teammate on splits of 47, 34 and 85. He scored more than 600 points each year back-to-back, making him the first player to have 3 consecutive such postseasons. In 2010, he won his 5th and last title. And to top it off, he defeated 4 Hall of Famers in a marathon 7-game series. Kobe has won 3 titles, but Shaq without Kobe wasn't as effective as Kobe without Shaq. Now, when I think back on it, Kobe is one of the top 10 players in history. It has maintained longevity and prime status for 13 years in a row from 2001 to 2013. He averaged 28.1 points, 5.7 rebounds and 5.2 assists. From then on until 2012, when he was 34 years old, he continued to make all defensive teams. So why do you think LeBron is better than Kobe? As I do. With few exceptions, I don't believe LeBron accomplished anything better than Kobe. That is your viewpoint. I vehemently disagree. Michael Jordan, in my opinion, was ideal. It was true that he was the closest thing to Mike, but even if he was a near replica of Jay, he wasn't as excellent. Now that I've seen the video, I believe 2 things may be true at the same time. In terms of playing style and philosophy, Kobe is certainly the most similar to Michael Jordan that we have seen. The majority of fans agree with that. Having said that, the reasoning is somewhat incorrect, since becoming MJ 2.0 does not automatically make a player the second best in NBA history. Given your ability and skill, I would still contend that you're a top 10 player at the very least. We don't need to use extreme measures to convey our points in discussions like this. If you claim that Kobe is merely a superior 3-throw shooter when comparing the 2 players, you're either trolling or completely delusional when discussing Kobe versus LeBron. The mid-range shooting was one area where Kobe was undoubtedly superior. Kobe shot 45%, 44, 43 and 42 times total in his 5 greatest mid-range shooting seasons, according to the statistics. And when Kobe is at his finest, his top 3 mid-range shots come in 8 separate seasons as opposed to LeBron James, who peaked at 44.6% before drastically declining to 38.4%. LeBron James' mid-range percent was lower than Kobe's, but when compared to Kobe's entire volume, he was never even in the top 10 in mid-range makes. Regarding the clutch time plays in the NBA Final, which are defined as the last 5 minutes within 5 points, there is another component that might be argued. In the NBA Finals, Kobe scored 78 points during crucial situations on 45.2% shooting, while LeBron James and other final participants only managed 76 points on 30.8% shooting. You may even consider the fourth quarter score over an entire playoff run if that stand there is too picky for a critical time play. Kobe Bryant averaged 9.5 points on 45% shooting in 02 and 8.1 points on 49.1% in NO2, compared to LeBron James, whose two greatest streaks were in 07 and 2015. When it comes to who played at their utmost best in the fourth quarter's peak, LeBron James versus peak Kobe, I believe Kobe was the superior fourth quarter player at the clutch time performer. And when comparing the two players at their greatest best, LeBron James is a greater scorer than Kobe, which is one astonishing fact that I find to be incredibly startling. Kobe's scoring average peaked at 35.4 points per game, and as I just said, the 2006-07 NBA season had one of the lowest scoring averages ever. He has made 70-point games, 60-point games, 50-point games, and 40-point games more than LeBron James. He was MJ's replica, yet MJ was better than he was. LeBron James never gave up and always bounced back stronger. He changed teams, moved to Miami, assembled a championship squad, and lost in the finals while only averaging 17 points per game. If we're going to use catchphrases like never folded and came back stronger, let's make sure that the person we're referring to truly fits the bill. How many times did he return exactly like you better? How many times throughout the playoffs could you have given up if you had done what was required of you? You might have given up, but instead you came back stronger, more dominating, and essentially rocked the league. Teams may be assembled, but just like they were while you were rushing around with the sole purpose of stopping you, James is experiencing a similar situation. Therefore, I do find it amusing that many now claim that they don't remember the finals without LeBron James. The Shaq and Kobe Lakers were there. Although Shaq was the superior player, let's not minimize Kobe and pretend that he wasn't scoring 29.4 points per game in 2001. In the mix were Anthony Davis, Kevin Love, Wade, Bosh, and even Kyrie Irving. That is the last thing I want to say, and once again, it's okay if you believe Kobe isn't a top 5 player or even a top 7 or top 8 guy. That's your viewpoint, but one of the dumbest tags I've ever seen was that he's not in the top 10. We hope you enjoyed watching this passionate and intense discussion about two of the greatest basketball players of all time, but we want to hear from you. Who do you think won the debate? Was it Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, or our special guest? Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.